Well, that music says it. Tonight, your Money Monday is all about computer care. But these days, computers are coming in many different shapes and sizes.
So what about all those other devices? Can we better protect our tablets and smartphones, too? ABC 40's Maggie Pereira is standing by with the answers. Maggie?
Thanks, Shannon and Dave. Joining me now is Brendan Sullivan of GoGeeks Computer Rescue in East Longmeadow. Brendan, thanks so much for being with us today. And we are going to talk about some other computer-driven devices. Okay. So one thing that I hear a lot of complaints about is battery life. A lot of people aren't getting the battery life that they want. How can they prolong battery life on their devices?
Probably the biggest killer, I'd say, of wireless devices, whether it's a tablet or a smartphone, is actually the screen brightness, or how long the screen is on. If you go into the battery settings of your phone, you're going to be surprised to see that probably 50 to 60% of your battery life is eaten by the screen, just by being on, because they have these really high display screens, lots of colors, and that's great to look at, but it also kind of eats up your battery life. So it's just as simple as going into your settings, adjusting the brightness, kind of turning it down. Might not look as great, but your phone will definitely, or your tablet will run, a lot more through the day than it normally would.
Awesome. Now, what are some other common issues that people are seeing with tablets? There are so many different kinds on the market today.
Yeah, definitely.
So what are some of the issues that you're seeing?
Well, kind of outside of, the manufacturing issues, like people will get them where the screen doesn't touch right, or it seems to kind of run sluggish with updates. There's not too much. I mean, sometimes it's malware would be the biggest problem, but usually it's on the manufacturer's end. Like sometimes Google will release an update, and that will kind of make things sluggish, a little less responsive. But other than that, malware, I'd say, is probably a bigger issue when it comes to tablets and things.
Is a tablet something that you might want to put virus protection on, even?
Well, actually, recently, studies have kind of shown that antivirus programs, kind of as they are on tablets, aren't really that effective. Okay. They've done some studies that, the free ones are pretty much not worth downloading, and the paid ones don't really, they seem to kind of catch half of what's out there right now. Really what it comes down to is the user, is common sense. When you're on the Android market, or rather, when you're on an Android phone, you want to go onto the Google Play Store. You don't want to go to your browser to download things. You don't want to accept anything from a person you don't trust over a text message.
Okay.
Do you really want to stick to the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store as far as your downloads, and don't give anything permission in your phone that you don't trust.
And you were going to show us a way that we can prolong life on one of our smartphones too.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what I have here is a Google Nexus tablet. It's $199 at Staples, pretty inexpensive for what it is. Let me kind of turn the brightness up just a bit. It is a little low here. There we go. Okay, so that's kind of how you can, adjust your brightness. I turned it pretty high up there.
Right.
But as you can kind of see on the screen, there's lots of widgets, things like that. Usually what people have on their phones or their tablets is something that does the weather, and that really captures information from the internet. A lot of these widgets capture things from the internet. Like here's my email widget, and that takes up a lot of battery life. That takes up a lot of, processes running in the background. Can kind of slow down the system. Another thing that some people have on their phones is a live wallpaper.
Okay.
So here, what I'll do is I'll go to wallpaper, and I'll go to a live wallpaper to kind of give an example. This is a pretty neat one. This one kind of has a. It's kind of hard to see, but if you look at it, it has movement to it. So it's like a desktop that moves in the background.
Yeah.
Really, what you want to do is you want to find a stationary picture as your wallpaper. You don't want to have one of these 3D wallpapers going in the background. Photo of the kids, maybe one of the photos that's pre-installed. You don't want to have the moving 3D backgrounds. They take up a lot of processing as well as a lot of battery life.
Great. Thanks, Brendan. And if you remember, folks, if you have a question about your computer, laptop, Mac, PC, smartphone, or tablet, all you need to do is call. It's your Money Monday